15 years, majorly in corporate banking sector, playing an advisory role to many large corporates in Uganda, and currently works with Standard Chartered Bank as head of international and local corporates. He has a passion for developing local retail brands and franchises, and is currently a director in a company that owns 3 leading brands in the market, namely Kids World, Bridal World, and Just Kids. Rotarian Kaziro began his Rotary life as interactor. Imagine interactor in the Interact Club of King's College, Budo. He then joined the Rotaract Club of Nakawa Moves. He joined the Rotary Club of Kampala East in 2007 and served as president. Before that, he served as vice president, club treasurer, director youth services, and sergeant at arms. It is during this tenure as president, during his tenure as president that his club attained a platinum award from Rotary International. For your information, this is the highest award that a club can attain from Rotary International. He is a Paul Harris, as I mentioned earlier. Here it is put ×1, but I would like to say +1. Has attended 3 district conferences and 3 Rotary International conventions. During his free time, he focuses on mentoring the boy child through the Boys Mentorship Program. Enjoys traveling to new destinations, except for COVID, which has locked him down a bit, and doing community work as a way of giving back to society. Ladies and gentlemen, Rotaractors, Rotarians, Rotaractors, guests, and also interactors, because this is somebody who started as an interactor. I'm really excited about that. Join me and put our hands together for Rotarian Kaziro Chambade. Thank you.
Thanks, AG, for that kind introduction. I'll request that I do not put on my video because of the internet, but I'm sure probably I could just put it on for 1 minute so that you can confirm that it's me talking. And then after that, I'll have it off.
It is you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll get into the presentation. District governor-elect, fellow assistant governors, changemaker presidents, fellow Rotarians, and guests. I want to thank you for having come for today's fellowship. I know it's an early morning fellowship. I want to thank you for having spared your time. I want to thank President Frederick for once again inviting me to come and address the club in my capacity as AG. I can't take it for granted. And I'm surely behind you, I'm surely behind the club to support it. Before I start my presentation, I would want to just make one key announcement from the district, and that is the cancer run that we shall be having. And to this club, I'm really, really grateful that we have shown vigor in buying the kits. This club has sold about 150 kits, although we had given our targets. We have given ourselves a target of about 220 kits. And President Frederick, I think we can do more. Probably we can try to reach 250 or 300 because we are actually doing this for a good cause. So I'm rallying all fellow Rotarians. Please make sure you buy a kit, a cancer run kit. Let us support the cause. Let us push cancer out of this country. And then my second announcement, still from the district, is the DISCON. I'm rallying each and every one of you to come and celebrate with us in Naivasha next year in April. I know Alibad got over at the end of June. However, we still have another window. up to end of December, where Rotarians are paying $150 and Rotaractors are paying $100. Come, let us celebrate the success of this year in Naivasha. Let's all be there together. Yeah, so thank you once again, President Frederick and the board. My presentation has been put up, and today I thought I would actually talk about the goals. Many of you may be listening to President Frederick, probably in the board meetings or even in fellowships, talking about some of these things. And probably you do not know how all this fits together. You're probably wondering what he's smoking, where did he get all this stuff from? But I want to say that we are actually guided right from the top, right from the top. You realize that when you look at our RI president, Sheikh Mehta, what are his key mantras for this year? Our first key mantra for this year is serving to change lives. And actually that is the theme for this year. For those who have been in Rotary long enough, you'll realize that every year we actually have a different theme that we actually follow. The theme for this year is serving to change lives. And that is basically the backbone. It is the cornerstone of each and everything that we are doing. Very critical for us is that he tells us that we have to grow more and do more. Basically, informing us that if Rotary has been 1.2 million people, why can't we grow that for such a long time? And you will see that I'll bring it down to the club level. And for me, this is an eye-opener for me. If a club, and this is just an example, if a club was chartered when it was 32 members, and today, probably 20 years later, the club has grown to just 52 members. Actually, when you put it in mathematics, this club has grown by one person for every year. But is that the growth that we want for a cause like this? Probably not. So he came up and told us, let each one bring one. And that is the challenge he has given to us, that if we are 1.2 million Rotarians, by the end of these 12 months, if you went and told someone about Rotary, something good about Rotary, if someone believes in the cause and they actually join the fraternity, then we'll probably reach 2.4 million people in just 12 years. And it is doable. Because I have a friend I can tell about Rotary and they'll buy it. Each one of us has a friend that they can talk about Rotary and they'll actually buy into the cause. He talks about the Rotary Days of Service. And he considers these as community service events that he wants the clubs to actually hold, where we shall invite members, fellow clubs, friends, family, to join us and celebrate service, to join us for a good cause. So it's from this that our own district, 9213, came up to actually articulate some of the key goals, some of the things that we want to achieve for the next 12 months. I can't say it is late for us to achieve this, because this Rotary year has just, we're about 48 days into the new Rotary year. Therefore, we still have time to actually deliver what the district wants us to deliver. President Fred? Yeah, so the key pillars for our district goals is one, we have put them in four pillars. The first pillar being increasing impact. And of course, this comes from the RI citations. How are we going to increase impact as District 9213? We have committed that we are going to give $400,000 to the Rotary Foundation. What is my part in that? What is your part in that? I know there's COVID. we can say, yes, our jobs, our businesses have been impacted. But I'm sure, just like we give our tithes into churches, we can be able to save something for the Rotary Foundation. Because we all know that this money that we give to the Rotary Foundation comes back to even support serious causes. So we are going to give 400,000 to the Rotary Foundation, but at the same time, we want to utilize $4 million through global grants. Our RI president has made it very clear. He has made it very clear. Sorry, there was feedback that was coming in. Yeah, our RI president has made it very clear that just like we have kicked out polio, we now have a pandemic with us, COVID-19. Why don't we do something within our communities? What have we done to support all those that have been affected by COVID-19? So as a district, we have said we want to utilize $4 million. Bring it down to the club level. How many applications, how many global grant applications do you have in the chain? Our district governor, John Damira, has been very good to us. He has even given us a structure that is going to support global grant writing. He has given us area support officers. These grant officers are supposed to assist us as clubs to write global grants that are going to bring in money to support communities where we are. That is how we are going to increase impact. We are looking at having 10 major donors, new major donors in this district, and 10 bequest society members. What is your role in that? I'm happy to announce that this club has at least given us one major donor this year. And I want to congratulate Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak for that. So that means that we have 9 to go. But we can even make it 20. Why not 20? We want to look at having new partners that can bring on board at least $50,000. And we have all seen, we can use Rotary Uganda Limited so that we can have structures that can bring on board new partners. There are so many companies that are entering Uganda. Have we had a chat with them? Many of them have CSR budgets. Why don't we tap into those CSR budgets so that we can actually have that money on board? Because this money is for a good cause. Me and you have traveled to so many districts in this country and realized that there's a lot of need in most of those districts. We are looking at clubs having multi-grants, multi-club grants. We believe this can even create bigger impacts. Let's not look at ourselves per se, but let's look at ourselves probably as areas. For example, the area that I serve, Kampala Area 4. Why don't we write a global grant and make an impactful project? We are 5 clubs. Why don't we bring ourselves together and do an impactful project to the communities that we serve? Remember, we are increasing impact as one of the key tenets. We also want to position Rotary as a key influencer to national policy. Let the people at the top of this country, let the policymakers not write policies without consideration of Rotary. But we can only achieve that if they actually realize that we are creating impact. Rotary has signature projects in this country. We have the Cancer Run, and through the Cancer Run, we have done quite a lot of cancer projects in Zambia Hospital. We have the Mengo Blood Bank. We have seen influence. When people see us impacting lives, they actually realize that we are key stakeholders that they need to look at when they're making decisions. The second pillar at the district is for us to expand our reach. I have already talked about this, that let each one reach one. But however, some of the key things that we are looking at, we need to look at retention, membership retention. Of the 1.2 million people that we have, how many of those are going to drop off because of the pandemic? How are we going to make sure that we reserve at least 95% of our members? Definitely, we need to have a good membership proposition. I can tell you that there has to be a reason why I have to stay in Rotary. What is that value addition? So as clubs, what is that we are going to do to make sure that those who are in are going to stay in, and those who are out are going to be attracted to come in? As a club, have we already done our membership engagement survey? Have we tried to look at the soft aspects of the members of the club? What are the club members feeling? Is it someone, are they being bullied? Is it financials? Are they comfortable with the people around them? Do we have classes in Rotary? These are some of the things that will come out of the membership engagement surveys. And I encourage all clubs to do engagement surveys. As a district, we want to grow our clubs by 20%. And this is through everyone reaching one. This is through extension, membership extension. As a club, have we thought about forming another Rotary club, probably in the communities that we serve? We have to bring on board 20 new clubs, and each of those 20 new clubs should give us a maximum of at least an additional 500 Rotarians. And we can make it. Friends, we can make it. I believe this is a new district, 9213, but probably within the next 12 months, we can give birth to another district. And yes, it can happen because of what we believe in. For the Rotaractors, at the district, we want to ensure that Rotaractors transition into Rotary and let the Interactors transition into Rotaract. I personally did it when I started as an Interactor in King's College, Budo. And then I joined the Rotaract in Makerere University Business School before I joined Kampala East. Yes, it can happen. But how come I've had that belief and thought process of Rotary? It's because of what Rotary does. The causes of Rotary are very good causes. And therefore, we need to ensure that we tell each and everyone about Rotary, so that right from the grassroots, we are actually talking to people about Rotary. I mean, I have my children, I keep talking to them about Rotary. I keep engaging them. I take to them when we used to do projects, physical projects. We used to go together. We used to plant trees together. We used to give out scholastic materials together. And the reason I was doing this was to ensure that they actually get to learn about Rotary, so that when they are in college, they can join Interact. And this is the pipeline for Rotary. This is the pipeline for the Rotary fraternity. We need to develop a pipeline. And then we need to talk about Rotary. These are the change maker stories. So at the district, one of the things we think we can do is to actually increase Rotary presence. And we need to ensure that we have robust change maker stories. We have robust mediums in how we are going to tell our story. And let's become Rotary brand ambassadors wherever we go. Are we wearing our badges? Are we wearing our badges to tell people that, yes, I'm a Rotarian? I can tell you that when you're in the airports or wherever you go, and you see someone putting on that pin, the Rotary pin, we immediately click because we have something. We belong to the same fraternity, and a fraternity that we all believe in, that is good for everyone. The next pillar we have is participant engagement. What do we want to do as a district? We want to improve diversity and inclusion in Rotary. We want to bring on board every member, irrespective of where they come from. And we have to ensure that every member feels valued, he's respected, and feels welcomed. That is one of the key drivers for membership retention. That is one of the key drivers for membership engagement. We want to also continue developing our leaders. Bring it down to the club level. Do we have leaders for the next 5 years? Or are we going to have the same leaders over and over again? We need to purposely develop and train leaders within our clubs. We need to purposefully develop and train leaders at the district. I've already talked about the value proposition. And then we have also, the other goal that we have is that, that's why you see, it's one of the things we keep emphasizing as district officials, that let's all learn to attend district conferences. Because this is where it all starts, this is where it all happens. In April, in Naivasha. Touch wood. Is it possible for us to have 60% of the that we are going to have in the coming months? The last pillar as a district that we have is that we want this is at the district, but bring it down to the club. As a club, do we have the right corporate governance structures in the club? Remember, we are stewards. We are stewards of money. We are stewards of assets and everything. Have we filed those annual returns? Is our club a member of Rotary Uganda Limited? Do we have a strategic plan in place as a club? Is it updated? Does it have buy-in from the club members? Do we have financial manuals in place? Are our accounts audited? We need to have that kind of governance so that there's transparency and accountability across all clubs. We want to do it at the district, but let's ensure that at the club level, let's make sure that it happens. Because with that, we should be able to attract even more funding into our clubs. We want to ensure that clubs appreciate and adapt the use of technology. Why isn't our club using club runners? It's food for thought. I mean, when COVID came, there are so many people who could not believe that we'd have virtual fellowships. But I mean, 18 months later, we have adapted. Let's use technology. Let's be ahead of technology so that we can ensure that even if another COVID or another black swan event comes in, we can be able to continue performing our duties as Rotary. We are not going to stop Rotary because COVID is here. We need to continue serving communities. We need to continue meeting. That means that we need to adapt. We all know that the world has changed and we shall never go back to what it was. So very, very critical for us to adapt with the new normal, which has now become the normal. We need to develop a learning culture. We are looking at this from a district level, and I think we also need to harness it from a club level. Let's ensure that we actually push our club members to actually go and learn. There's a Rotary Learning Institute. Let's go and learn about Rotary. Let's encourage members to actually read the magazines, to actually log on to to log on to the Rotary International websites. There's a lot of information there. Let's get into the learning centers to learn about Rotary. What are those things that that Rotary International is trying to push? What has happened? So it's very, very critical that we try to push the clubs to learn. Let's have training days for clubs to just teach them about the ABCs of Rotary. There are probably some new clubs that we need to handhold to make sure that they understand what Rotary is. And even for us who have been in Rotary for long enough, let's spare some time to go and mentor those clubs, to mentor those people who are new in Rotary. And then last but not the least, is to ensure that we embed risk management and contingency planning in all our district and club plans. When we have these very good strategic plans, we have the good SMART goals, let's make sure that we have contingency planning so that in case anything happens, there's always a plan B. If plan B is not there, then there's a plan C. So to bring it back home to this club, Kampala Daybreak, I just want to take you through where are we from, when you look at all these goals, where are we in terms of this? On the side of membership, I mean, I can't emphasize this, each one bring one. We have to double the size of this club. To date, we have inducted at least 7 members, and I want to thank this club. And we have another 4 that have been lined up for induction. President Frederick, you know, I keep telling you, I'm like Oliver Twist. I'm going to ask for more. At the end of the day, we have to ensure that we actually support the district goals. So if we are talking about 20 new members, why not 40? I leave that to you, but I'm sure it will happen. Public image. We're talking about impactful programs. You have done so much in your programs. Have we had the change maker stories? I'm happy to announce that this is a club that has actually adapted technology. It is the club that it's one of the clubs that is very vibrant on the social media platforms. It's one of the clubs that has a live YouTube channel. I'm sure even as I'm talking, I'm live on YouTube. We have a website that is updated weekly. We have planned appearance in print media. So let's talk about the change maker stories. When you have a compelling story, you actually talk about it compellingly. So let's use our channels to talk about our compelling story compellingly. This is the club that started the Telegram for District 9213 and District 9214. They have actually developed 2 Telegrams. One that has District 9213 and 9214, and one that is specific for 9213. And at this point in time, I would want to hand over the microphone to our DGE to actually launch this Telegram platform. Over to you, DGE Mike Sebalo. DGE Mike?
Yeah, thank you very much. Our distinguished AG, you're really doing a good job, and I really want to appreciate you for doing your job so well. This morning, I'm very privileged and honored on behalf of our governor, who is busy with the duties of managing the district, and as part of the district team, I'm indeed very privileged to do this honor. There is something that we need to appreciate if we are to be a very successful district, and if we are to be successful in Rotary Uganda, and that is to ensure that we do good communication, timely communication, relevant communication, and focused communication. Secondly, we need to corroborate. You can't corroborate effectively without coordinate our activities. And again, communication becomes a great tool of coordination. We are to the geographical space of Uganda, so we need to engage in cooperation. And again, to cooperate well and to cooperate effectively, you do need to communicate well. And finally, after doing all the great work that we are doing in the district, the geographical space communication comes in handy for all the good things that we do in serving humanity. So, what do we need therefore to do in order to be able to do that effect? We've created Telegram applications specifically. So if you want to communicate, celebrate on those matters exclusively as District 9213, a platform has been created to that effect. Likewise, the same has been created for District 9214 to achieve the same purpose. But since we are within the same jurisdiction, again, another platform has been created, and that is a platform that brings us all together as a country, as Rotary in Uganda, and as a country, again, to communicate, collaborate, coordinate, cooperate, and celebrate. So, two major platforms in order to relate well. You need your platform to keep you posted with every geographer. What get advantage? Because there is a lot of communication going around, and it could threat and some people playing along, but well sorted since. And another thing that you get joined. So that is a good catch-up arrangement for you to be on top of your game in terms of communication, because then you get all the messages and communications thereon. But as I launch these platforms today, I think we need a word of caution. As we communicate widely and on a big range of subjects, one thing that we need to put at the back of our mind is the discipline. You know, posting and reposting can really be discouraging. So let's apply discipline. Once something is being shared, the fact is that it is shared across and everyone is going to be, then there's no need of you reposting the same and keeping colleagues busy and their messages filled up. So this is an area we need to look at individually and collectively so that we have smart means of communication that is convenient, that is user-friendly, and that is attractive. Because if it is done in an article basis and you get overloaded, there are cases where people just wake up and start deleting whatever is on, and thereby missing very useful and important information. So I just want to encourage all of us and beseech you to communicate in a smart way, communicate in a purposeful way, and communicate in a manner that does not disrupt communication. So I'd like to take this singular honor and opportunity to declare these 3 platforms formally launched, that namely Telegram platform for D9213, D9214, and Rotary Uganda. I do hereby declare them officially and formally launched. Thank you for your kind attention and indulgence.
Thank you, DGE Mike, for those kind words and for the launch. I'll now move back to summarize. I know we are hard pressed on time. The other goal that I wanted to look at is your contribution so far to the TRF within the first 18 days. I'm glad to announce that you have contributed 5,000 out of the target of the 15,000 that you gave yourselves. And I want to take sincere appreciation to MD May, MD Timothy, IPP Jameson, and our own president Frederick, who has decided to lead by example. Yeah, but President Frederick, like I told you, I'm an Oliver Twist. Since we have done 5,000 in the first 18 days, then why don't we probably push this to 20,000? Remember, as a district, we have to raise about 400,000. So you can chip in at another 500,000. And at the end of the day, you know this money will come back to you through the projects. So I'm encouraging all of us to give. Let's support the Rotary International. On the side of the service projects, I mean, for this club, we have seen what we have done with the ECDs. And at this point in time, I want to thank your partners, IRID, who have come out strongly to support you. Currently, you're going to inaugurate 7 ECD centers, and these are worth $500,000. This is no mean feat. This is no mean achievement. And for me, this is the right, when we talk about impact in communities, this is what we are talking about. Because when you look at the regions, Masaka, Kalungu, Kakumiro, Mbarara, we also have upcoming centers in Kamoli, Ngora, Makerere University, and then there's also the partnership we're having with Buganda Kingdom. You can see that Rotary is actually creating impact. And I want to congratulate you, President Frederick, for this. I know if it hadn't been time, I would even have gone into details in what we are doing on the MCH projects, because we already have a champion and there are already activities that have been lined up for this. But I want to thank you for having run from the front to try to create impact within the communities where we are. Last but not least is the DISCON in Naivasha. We already have 33% of the club members. attending, who have registered, they have already paid up for DISCON. Why not 100%, President Frederick? If we have 33% in the first 18 days, we still have quite some time. So my challenge to you is that let's try to push for 100%, because I know this is a club that's going to receive so many accolades because what we are already doing. Let's get people who are going to go and pick these accolades from Naivasha, because we shall all dance from the same stage. I want to once again thank you for having listened to me. President Frederick, our work is cut out. We still have almost 11 months to go. And therefore, we need to make sure that we achieve most of these goals that we have set for ourselves. I thank you and I welcome any submissions.
Thank you very much, AGKK, for your wonderful and, I must say, timely address to the club. We are so greatly privileged and honored to have you as our AG. All that we have achieved and we are going to achieve is because of your guidance. We take responsibility for the mistakes that we have committed and we shall commit, but we greatly appreciate you. Friends on call this morning, thank you for being with us this far. So I know that you could have some comments, some words of guidance, some words of wisdom, but also some areas where you wish to seek clarity. This is the time when we dive straight into that. And to guide us through, I want to invite you, Buddy Group Leader, Rotarian Anthony Wang, to kindly guide us through the Q&A in the most precise and concise manner that you can do this. You're welcome, my friend, Rotarian Anthony Wang.
Thank you, President. Fellow Rotarians, feel free to raise your hand or post your question or comment on the chat section. We'll be able to either see you raise your hand or see your comment and question and pass it on to the AG. Thank you.
Anthony, there could be questions and comments in the chat section that you could go and pick.
Yes,
and to the
I'm looking at the chat section. I don't seem to see any comment yet. Yes, I see a Rotarian, Sam Wanje has raised up your hands. Please go ahead and make your question or comment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sebo. Sam Wanje, my name. I am from District 9214. I want to thank AGKK for that presentation. Actually, he has reminded me of my old days when I was assistant governor. But the announcement I want to make, Sebo, is that we are also in District 9214 going to have this year in May next year from 12th to 14th. And the early bird goes up to end of December at $190 for Rotarians and $100 for Rotractors. Full package, meaning that covers all registration charges, the Rotary bag, the conference bag, and the meals as well. So members from 914 are very many already registered for Naivasha. We also shall be gratified to see you in District 9214. After all, we are partners. See you there. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and it has been wonderful attending this meeting today.
Okay, thank you, Rotarian Sam. I see Rotarian Tulirava on the comment section says, AG, give some light on the area support officers and maybe introduce them to the club app. AG, you may go ahead and respond to that.
Yeah, okay. Just to bring it home, what the district governor did, every area got what we call the area support officers. Area support officers, there was an area grant officer, there's an area support officer in charge of PR, and an area support officer in charge of membership. So what happens that as AG, we work with these area support officers to support the clubs. To mention the ones for this club per se, we have Rotarian Lydia, who is the area grants officer. We have Rotarian Mark, who is the area support officer in charge of PR. And then we have Rotarian Shemna Genda, who is the area support officer in charge of membership. And they're actually doing a wonderful job to date. So those are the area support officers for Kampala Area 4, to which I'm DG.
Okay, hope
Yes.
that has been taken home. President, I seem not to see any more hands raised up and no comment. Okay, AG James Onyoin, please go ahead and unmute your mic and make your comment or question.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Mine is just to draw the attention of members to the chat room. I've posted there the links to the Telegram applications, which have just been launched today by District Governor-elect Mike Kennedy Obalu. We have a link which takes you how to register to D9213 as a group, a platform, and also another link which enables you to register for Rotary Uganda Hub. Thank you. So you can go to the chat room and get those links if you have not yet registered.
Yes, members, I see the links are clearly visible. President, I seem to see no more comments on the chat room and no more hands raised. I would like to close the Q&A session and hand over back to you.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Anthony Wang, and thank you so much, AG James, for that clarification. And we continue to appreciate you, our AG, for the address you've given to the club. I know just a precise message, friends, you could be, and you're wondering why Telegram, why can't we do it on WhatsApp? Just for your information, WhatsApp has a limit. You can only take 250 friends or comrades on WhatsApp. Already, the platform for District 9213 and District 9214 has over 450 members. This can never be possible when you're using WhatsApp. This platform, and you'll correct me, AG James, can allow you have over 200,000 members. So it widens the limit. So that's why we encourage you to be a part of this, because it is going to be a one-stop communication platform for all the districts. So I thank you, AG, and friends, right now, allow me welcome you, my namesake, PAG Frederick Chubedi, to do just that which the Fredericks do. My PAG.
Thank you so much, President, and thank you so much, members, for attending this fellowship on the very special occasion of the visit of our Assistant Governor, Kaziro Chambade. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation that you have made. in a very cordial manner. You know, you speak in a very parental way that one would think that you went to a very good school, and yet you went to an excellent school, that is King's College Budo. I have some information that actually it was because the admission list in Mwiri was full. That's the reason why you went to Budo. But you've done so well in terms of giving us the highlights on what we expect. And you know, in a very parental way, many times when you receive, and this club knows that when in the past we used to receive assistant governors, would even dread receiving them because they are coming to tell us of the things that we have not done and how we are lagging behind in terms of other clubs. But you have lashed us well in terms of giving us the challenge and giving us the milestones that we have achieved, and to congratulate both ourselves and yourself on these achievements that you've made. We are so very grateful for your continued inspiration, and we know we are going to make it to the club of the district, because that's where we want to be at the end of this Rotary year. I want to thank very specifically also, okay, maybe before I thank the DGE, this is our certificate to proudly associate with your visit this morning, and to thank you so much for availing the time. Of course, we also want to thank Amelia for making sure that you are ready and prepared, and we know that behind or besides every great man, there's a great woman, and I'm looking forward to the day when it will be announced that Amelia has also joined Rotary. That would be great, and we know that that can happen. DG Mike Sewalu, you've been part of us, you've patronized us, you've given us direction, and you don't give up on us, and we don't take you for granted. We really don't take you for granted. We know you're a friend of the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak, but in many ways, you've also been such an inspiration. And for these two activities that you've done today, we want to thank you. Mr. President, I think that's my job. I also want to congratulate you on your new baby and encourage you to join and enroll in the Salongo Nalongo classes. Probably weekend or evening classes might be good for you. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My namesake, the man with the only personal airport. Thank you so much for moving a vote of thanks. Friends, I know our time is fast spent. It is my humble request that you allow us strictly 5 minutes.
Mr. President,
to enable us wind up our fellowship. I would definitely enroll for the Salongo classes now that I have generals in that field.
Mr. President.
Yes, DGE.
Yeah, my apologies really. When I was called upon to perform a function, I followed the instructions both in spirit and letter, and I did exactly what I was required of. But allow me to congratulate you upon that family milestone. Greetings to Madam, and a part on our newly born baby. Congratulations both to you and your aunt upon that act of procreation, which is definitely evidence that you are responding to the cause of growing our population. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, DGE Mike. Really appreciate the congratulatory messages, and I would 100% convey the same message to the little one and the mother. So friends, allow me invite in the 5 minutes that you've allowed us, allow me invite your Rotarian Irene Katende to guide us through the statistics for today. Rotarian Irene, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Good morning on this call. We are so delighted to have you this morning, and I'll quickly take you through the statistics. This morning we had 185 participants, 52 visiting clubs, 2 Rotaract clubs, and 2 guests. I'll start off with our guests. These are Marion Onyoy and Evelyn Ogwal. The clubs were the Rotary Club of Chiwatule, Kampala Morning Stars, Rubaga Lakeview, Boyogere Nambole, Kampala Sunrise, Kampala Ali Bird, Namasuba, Sonde, Acacia Sunset, Kampala Central, RC Bulova, RC Bukoto, RC Natete, RC Ntienda, RC Muyenga, Kampala East, Kampala South, RC Makindye, Kansanga, Kampala Metropolitan, Garuga Information, Kampala Maisha, Kampala Springs, RC Entebbe, RC Nansana, RC Chitante, RC Chigo, RC Nsanji, Kampala Seven Hills, Kasangati, RC Kira, RC Masindi, E-Club Uganda Global, RC Nigeria, Muyenga Sunday Sunset, Sese Island, Kololo, Kampala Maisha, Jinja City, Chengela, Bulindo, Makindye West, Kampala North, Ntinda Metropolitan, Rubaga, RC Wakiso, Inner Wheels, Nakasero Central, Chitante, and Chiwenda. The Rotaract clubs were Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, and
Kampala Shibuli, please. Kampala Shibuli.
Noted, thank you. If you've not had your club, kindly put a note in the chat room, we'll capture it. Thank you so much for fellowshipping with us, and over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Rotarian Irene. I just want to add a voice that for those that may not have had their clubs being read out or for any other reason, kindly accept and receive our apologies. But we request you to register your attendance in the chat section. We will be able to recognize and appreciate you. As my friend Rotarian Elizabeth prepares to give us the final toast, I want to once again voice the gratitude of all daybreakers to you, our dear friends that have been with us this morning. Thank you so very much. But allow me in a special way, appreciate you all, our district leaders. DGE, Honorable Mike Sebalu, thank you so much for being with us. Our beloved past district governors, Uncle Tusu, I saw you, my friend PD Gizavia. Thank you so much for making time to be with us every Thursday morning. We greatly appreciate the past assistant governors. We deeply appreciate you. Changemaker assistant governors, thank you very much for being with us. And my friends and colleagues and comrades, Changemaker presidents, as usual, it is always warming to have you with me and with us at daybreak every Thursday morning. And to all of you friends, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much. I invite you now, Rotarian Elizabeth, to give us the final toast to close our fellowship today.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we end our fellowship, may I request us all to stand up, straighten our jackets, ties and skirts, lift up our beverage cups in honor of the inspirational session this morning, courtesy of our Assistant Governor, Kaziro Chambade's official visit, and the launch of the platform on Telegram by DGE Mike, Honorable Sebalu. Let us toast to Rotary International.
Rotary the world
Rotary world over.
Rotary world over.
Rotary
world over.
And make you a blessing.
Rotary is also over.
Rotary world over.
Rotary is also.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. President. Well done.
Thank you, my Assistant Governor and future Governor.
That's hilarious.
Thank you, AG Kaziro Champade. We really appreciate it. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
AG Keke, well done.
Thank you, President Fred.